like to see our emotions as like a guiding tool for our spirit. And I think it's absolutely important for like people to tap into their emotion and to be fearless in exploring that side of themselves and expressing that side of themselves. We're the ocean, and emotions come in waves, right? And if we can learn to just like feel those waves, welcome it, and let it pass through, because waves are temporary too, like they come and go. And if we can learn to also just like let those emotions come and go too, it allows a person not to like dictate the way they move in life, rather it allows them to use it as a tool instead. A lot of my traumas are actually intergenerational. So if my mom's experiencing this, and she experienced it because my grandma was doing it, and my grandma's like mom was doing that, what's the root of it?
So he was moved to the States, also changing his legal name, therefore making it more challenging, in our search for our brother. So these were just some of the barriers that, that we had faced. Finding out that, he was homeless, thinking, gee, if we would have had found him sooner, he would never have gone through these experiences. We would have been there. This was a few weeks ago. We had gone to a drive-through, and there was this homeless man, and he said, just wait, stop.
Yeah, I gave the guy American money, and because I'd been there and I'd done that. I was homeless for a good long time. On and on, I'd say about 30 years, maybe more.
And I realized like that anger, that pain, it's not me. That's something that's been passed on to me. Like when you are able to reroot yourself in your like culture and your history, you're able to like reroot yourself within too.
It was one of the most like tremendous feelings I've ever gone through. A friend of mine said it really well to me once when I was going through like the pit of feeling heartache, that it's like you're in the middle of surgery and you're all exposed and you actually feel like you don't have the skills to take care of yourself. It feels like a pressure on your chest or like this knot in my gut. I think there's different phases that I went through throughout that process. Like the first moment after that feeling of, breaking up with someone or having a relationship that was very significant to me end, there's like this grieving process which almost is like you don't actually believe it's happened. And I would say like the first couple weeks or month, I'm sort of just in this like really ephemeral, floaty state where I know something really significant is changing, but my body and my mind is trying to catch up to that change. Like I haven't adjusted to it yet, so there might be feelings of like denial or pushing it down or pushing it away. And, and then there's like phases of anger, a lot of anger, and it's much easier for me to like villainize the individual who I'm feeling hurt by than to maybe explore my own feelings and get into the place of forgiveness.
And it was like a cloud was just like over top of me. I was in my car one day, just driving, and it was like all of a sudden there was color in my like vision again in my life, and I realized like, yeah, I'm good. I'm okay actually.
Love is never like a draining energy, but love in its essence is like such a comforting, healing sort of feeling.
Yeah, I was like going to Asia. I was gonna do a 6-month trip, and I can't even remember like even having a memory saying I love you to my mom. And when I was leaving for 6 months, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna say it to her. And it was so scary. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never said this to her, but you know what? I'm gonna say it. So I'm at the airport, and I give her a hug, which was also new for us. And I look at her and I'm like, hey mom, I love you. And she was so shook. She was just like thrown aback, just like, like didn't expect to hear that, you know? And she couldn't even say it back. but I knew, you know, like, and I walked away, and then she like texted me after, and she was just like, I love you too. And I was like, oh. I started learning like my mom's language of love, and it didn't necessarily come physical touch or like words of affirmation. I learned that her language of love was acts of service. All her acts of service that made me realize like, wow, she's loved me her whole, like my whole life, you know?
It feels easy, or it feels like I am like really, really authentically showing up as myself with someone else. And after that interaction with someone, I feel extremely rejuvenated. I feel charged. I feel excited. I feel inspired.
So I received a call. So there was a lady on the other line. So she, you know, then she was saying, you know, we found your brother. And I remember that day I was just like really shaking, and I was just like literally almost dropping the phone, and I was standing there, and that moment after, you know, like 52 years, and the physical distance for us, it just went out the door, you know, and just gave him a big hug, and so I just assured him, you know, today I said, you'll never ever have to feel alone. You know, you have a big family here out at Siksika, you know, that who love you, and that they've always thought of you. When we came out of the, you know, quarantine, you know, we went to go visit our mother's grave. You know, he put some flowers down, and so that was, and you know, that we were able to finally fulfill our wish, you know, in our search for our brother. You know, I had a dream of Mom. She looked so youthful. You know, she was happy that she was at peace, you know, because I know that's what she had always wanted.